How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you what it's like to drive the all-new 2025 CT5V Blackwing from a first-person point of view. Under the hood is a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 that makes 668 horsepower and 659 pound-feet of torque. The car is mated to two transmission options. We'll go ahead and open the door here to show off that beautiful 6-speed manual. Yes, you can get a manual transmission in a 2025 V8 supercharged rear-wheel drive sedan. 0 to 60 for the manual is 3.6 seconds. You can get an optional 10-speed automatic for 3.5 seconds, 0 to 60, but obviously the manual is the choice. This is kind of the reincarnation, in my opinion, of the E39 BMW M5 with more horsepower and more luxury. I love this thing. Exterior-wise, the car is pretty similar to the 2024. We do have revised exhaust tips. This thing sounds absolutely insane. The biggest news is the optional Precision package. For $18,000, you get carbon ceramic brakes, optional Cup 2R tires for $0. You have stiffer springs, revised suspension, as well as revised engine software and steering setup. It's pretty cool. It's also got a revised alignment for better on-track performance. Now, in terms of styling in the front, we do have a slightly revised front fascia. We have this waterfall style daytime running light that goes down into the front bumper, which is pretty nice. Another huge change with the car is in the interior, but let's start out with the rear seat environment. It's pretty basic back here, but look at how gorgeous the carbon fiber seat backs are for those sport bucket seats. That is one cool view for the rear seat occupants. The big news is a 33-inch 9K display. We'll get to that in a moment. How gorgeous are these bucket seats? A multitude of color options to choose from interior and exterior wise. We even have a massaging function in bucket seats. They're also electronically controlled, heated and ventilated, and super comfortable. These have got to be some of the best bucket seats in the world. Inside of the Blackwing now, we've got that massive 33-inch curved display. The graphics are fantastic. The steering wheel fits great in your hands. On it, we've got a V-mode button to customize the driving experience, the steering, the suspension setup, etc. We also have performance traction management that can be adjusted in 5 stages. I'll show you that later on. If we come down here, go ahead and click the mode button. You can switch between various driving modes: snow, ice, track, sport, and tour. Now, the instrument cluster changes based on what driving mode you're in, and track mode is my absolute favorite. I love that horizontal instrument cluster. The throws are fantastic with the manual shifter. The clutch is nice and light. We have a rev match button here if you don't want to rev match yourself, traction mode, and mode selector right there. We've got some storage space here. Relatively small cup holders, I'm not gonna lie. The seats, once again, are absolutely fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of the AKG speaker system. I feel like it could be a little better. I'm also not a huge fan of this design right here, although I do love that there's hard controls. And of course, we have heated and ventilated front seats. Now, if we come over to this side of the screen, you can change the layout to link it to the different driving modes. You can also change it to an assist mode for driving on the highway, or a clean mode where all it does is show the speedo, which is pretty cool. If we exit out here, heads-up display controls, go back again, and we have a trip gauge right there. Now, if we click this button right here, that'll bring us into the launch control settings, which I'll show you out on the road. All right, let's see what it's like to drive. Behind the wheel of the CT5V Blackwing now. And there really is no substitute for a manual rear-wheel drive V8 sedan. The driving experience in this is absolutely sublime. The cornering ability, the soundtrack, the gearbox is phenomenal. And it just provides such a rewarding driving experience that is lost in today's even track-focused sedans. And it's so much fun. I mean, fun doesn't even begin to describe the driving experience. It's lively, it's exciting. It's so enjoyable behind the wheel. The steering feel is fantastic. So we've got revised steering for the Precision package. The suspension rides very well over bumps and has absolutely no body roll whatsoever. Despite the stiffer springs front and rear, it's not jarring on the road whatsoever. It's just an absolute joy. And the crazy part is, this is on Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, you can opt for Cup 2s, which if I bought this car with the Precisions pack, I definitely would have the Cup 2s for the added level of grip, but I haven't broke the tires loose at all. Right now I'm in V mode, so if we click the V mode button on the steering wheel, you'll have a series of controls for the steering, the suspension, the brake feel, engine sound, and performance traction management. So right now, I'm on PTM level Sport. You can use this toggle right here to put it into some more intense mode. So if we go ahead and toggle that, I can also put it into Race 2 to give me a little bit more slip angle. Slow down here, come to a stop, give it some gas, shall we? Once we get to the top of the hill, we'll do a little launch control, and I'll show you how you can vary the RPM in which you take off at. You've got launch control with a varying RPM setting in a manual transmission, which is awesome. I've got a nice heads-up display in front of me. It's such a driver-focused car. The seats hold me in place very well, despite the fact that we have ventilated, heated, and massage functionality. These are some of the best buckets you can possibly get. Normally I'd probably put the car into comfort mode by now, but it's so much fun that I don't really want to take it out of track mode. The gearbox throws are perfect, nice and short. The shift knob almost feels like it's aftermarket. It's nice and low profile. I love the design of it. The clutch feel super easy to use. Now, when you fire up the car, it automatically starts up in a mode that doesn't rev match for you, which I think is really cool. In order to rev match, you click this button right here by the shifter, and that turns it on and off. So it starts up in the most natural of modes where it really is man and machine. You have to row your own gears. If you put it into the rev match mode, the downshifts are like, you're like a professional race car driver. It's pretty unbelievable. You've also got a series of controls right here on the left, which is really interesting and actually took me a second to find out. One of which is really cool in the launch control setting. So if we go ahead and pull up to the top of this hill here, I'll show you. This is how you can activate line lock, you can activate launch control and change the heads-up display as well as the instrument cluster layout. So we're in the launch control settings right here, and look, we've got a line lock button for an awesome burnout. If you're on the line at a drag strip, you go through the burnout box and you want to lay down some rubber to heat up the tires, but you can also customize the launch control RPM. Let's move it up to 3,500. You can control the slippage as well. Let's go ahead and put it in first gear and humble myself right now. A bunch of wheel spin. I think I adjusted the slip too much. But this thing is a rocket ship once you get up and going. Obviously, you're gonna get quicker 0 to 60 times in an all-wheel drive sedan, but this car isn't about 0 to 60 times. It's about swinging out the rear end, doing smoky burnouts, and of course, the brilliant manual transmission. I love we've got the performance gauges on the right that show you horsepower and torque in a live readout. This thing is too good. It really is. All right, now we're gonna switch the car into tour mode and talk about what it's like to drive around town. Now, you can get an optional 10-speed automatic transmission if you're always driving in bumper-to-bumper traffic, but in this day and age when a manual transmission is so rare, there's only a couple sedans you can get with a manual, and there's only one that's rear-wheel drive and has a V8, and that's this. But the 10-speed does come with a couple extra features. You have remote start from the key, and you also have Super Cruise. So you'll have a different steering wheel with the Super Cruise indicator right here, and it does do self-driving out on the road. But this is a car that's meant to be driven yourself, not drive itself. So honestly, yes, Super Cruise would be nice sometimes in bumper-to-bumper traffic. It actually isn't that bad. I have driven this thing in LA traffic at its worst, and it's actually really easy to drive. And then you just click the massage button here on the seat, which once again, took me a bit to find, and I had no idea that there was a massage setting. You can turn it on right here and control a bunch of the settings as well. And it stays on for the remainder of the drive. It doesn't go on for 10 minutes and then just turn off and you have to click it again. It just goes on in the background. It's not super jarring, you don't notice it a ton, but it's a pretty nice extra feature. Visibility is fantastic. It's such an easy car to drive despite having 668 horsepower. It puts the power down very well. The traction control management is fantastic. And if you're just cruising around, it is really easy. It's a difficult car to stall as well. So if you've never owned a manual car before, this could be one to learn on, honestly. I know it sounds crazy, but they've done such a good job to manage that power. And I think the Precision package is a must-have. Comes with those carbon ceramic brakes, so you have reduced unsprung mass, you have less brake fade. According to Cadillac, more Blackwing owners track their Blackwings than Corvette owners, which is a pretty impressive statistic, honestly. But it really doesn't surprise me because this is the if you know car. It weighs 4,100 pounds. It's 12 or 1,300 pounds lighter than a new M5. It's so much more fun to drive than an Audi RS7, and we haven't seen the new E63 yet. So as of now, this is the king of the road. This is the most fun sports sedan money can buy, and I am absolutely in love with it. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.